Hare Krishna, Shri Radhe. How are you today?
I am very excited because today we're going to get really into the core of the types and everything. So I'm very excited.
Hari Bol. So let's start with a small recap to the last session.
Mhm.
So this is
So,
episode 4 of Swabhav Vichar, and stay tuned.
yes. So last week we discussed about be, do, have, or the three Shaktis, which is the Kriya Shakti, the Dravya Shakti, and the Jnana Shakti. So that is in the categories of Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. And being is in the mode of Jnana Shakti, which is the Sattvagun. And doing is in the mode of Kriya Shakti, which is the mode of passion. And have is the Dravya Shakti, which is in the mode of ignorance. But again, ignorance is also necessary, just as sleep. Sleep is necessary to shut off the brain and have. And the interesting paradigm today, we will connect what we discussed last week of every parent needs to be aware, every human being actually, about this Dravya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. Having that as the foundation, today we'll discuss how to apply your Shaktis, because each of us have our own capacity. Somebody has more Kriya Shakti than Dravya Shakti, and so on. So we will see how to integrate that and understand our nature. Before that, I just want to touch upon this point, this pyramid that you're seeing here, B. B is in the foundation, the bottom of all the things, is the crux that holds us as parents, as humans. That's our values, our beliefs, our attitudes. Okay. That's like the foundation of your house, of your parenting. Sometimes parents get so excited and so impatient to learn, right? How do I deal with my anger? How do I deal with disciplining the child? We jump into doing. We want to know how to do things. And then, because we're so concerned about having, which is on the top, you see the tip of the iceberg, we want results. We want our child to get good scores. We want our child to be excellent in extracurricular activities. We want to be able to show off to the society that our children are doing good. You see, that's the result part. So we all want the top part of the pyramid, but usually we get disappointed, we get frustrated. Why? Because we don't have the foundation strong enough. We're not focusing on that. And there are some parents who are so focused about values and beliefs and attitudes that they don't so much care about the results, but results do come to them. I know one particular devotee family, he's like so Krishna conscious. He accepts everything as Krishna's mercy. And the son had difficulty for a couple of years, as teenagers go through. And he was failing in the exams, and everything was going a bit strange. And all the devotees were talking about it, and all the family members and relatives. And because his being was so strongly rooted in the values of satisfaction, in the value of acceptance, in the belief of faith, and his attitude of humility, he not once complained and said, when is my child going to do better? When is he coming out of Sadesati? When is he going to? He never freaked out. That's the right word. Never freaked out. And then what happened as a result? He did his best, supported the child, kept the child's ears closed from naysayers who find it very easy to go on and point the fingers and say, you should be doing this, you should be doing the other thing, you should send him to this tuition, you should discipline him more, People go on and on about such stuff. He did not, budge for those things. He protected the child from whatever. He did behaviors that would help, and he understood the personalities, understood his nature. And then now the kid is doing fantastic. He's taken up law, he's studying law. And that was a great example for me.
Excellent. Yeah, really, really, very nice story. Actually, very, very really nice life experience. Yes.
You can relate to that, right? Like,
Yes, yes.
easy where people come and tell you all the time, your kid could be better, you could do this, you could do that, and their own kid is like not really doing well.
I remember this happened like we were having some function at home, and there was some I guess, yeah, there was a time when we entered this house, and we were having some kind of small housewarming kirtan party at home, and we had Maharaj here, and it was a very nice time actually. And because Bhakti Anugrah Janardhan Swami Maharaj was here, and he had a lot of time that day, and each one of us could interact with him. So all the friends and everyone, actually, we invited everyone from whether he be any religion. We just invited everyone to meet the monk, something like that, and everyone was so happy, and everything was going on very well. Suddenly, I saw my daughter. She's sitting in one corner, and she's almost in tears. And I was like, "What happened?" And she was like that. All kids are teasing me that I am wearing a western dress. I should be wearing a gopi dress. I am a devotee. So I I just wiped up her tears, and I was like, Dia, do you like your dress? She said yes. Do you like yourself? She said yes. So what's the problem? So you just get up. Don't listen to anyone. Just get up and just do your work. Then she again started crying loudly. She, no, mama, not even kids. Even some Matajis told me like this. And I was like, it's okay. They're just giving, they're your mother. So they're just giving you suggestion, how you can how you can look more beautiful, more better. Just if you feel that this is making you look more beautiful, it's fine, carry on. And then she was like at peace. So
Mhm.
she said, just give me 2 minutes and I'll come outside, and then she was fine.
Right.
And the best compliment came from Maharaj is saying, oh Dia, you're looking so beautiful today. And that made her day.
Yeah. Thank you, Sulakshana. That's such a good example of a good parent, good mother who supports the child. Your values were not based on just the social acceptance part. Your values were based on giving her a sense of security, confidence about who she is, and comfort. What makes her feel comfortable? What does she feel to wear? Right? It's
Yeah.
not like she's wearing something inappropriate. What is Indian and Western anyway, right? It's like,
Yeah, I was just discussing this with her afterwards, and we were just discussing that the point is the body should be covered. That's all.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, sometimes, like I know some people, they can be completely like that, right? Completely like this. But it doesn't mean I am very Vedic or I'm very pure and chaste and whatever. Because the purity and chastity comes from values, beliefs, attitudes that you don't see, which is underneath the iceberg. Outside I may be very, very, chastely dressed and completely cover and not show my face. That may look like, the behavior looks very pakka, very Vedic, but who knows what I'm thinking, right? So
Yes.
the value is comfort, the value is decent clothing that covers your body and makes you feel elegant and decent. But this Indian and Western, it's not about external, it's more about the mentality.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So the point is, if we can have, if we cannot have, we can be. If we can be satisfied, humble, accepting, good parents, we will do things that accepting, humble, and happy parents do. And then we will have results that happy, accepting, humble parents will have. Instead,
Very true.
if we want to just show a mask and we want to first show that we have the results, image, very much conscious about, we want to show that we have results, but actually underneath is all empty, hollow, shallow. Then what happens? The children, when they grow up, they get psychological dysfunctional things because of parents not being conscious of these things. And then it takes therapies and years of healing and bad relationships and It becomes another cycle. If we don't raise our children properly now, and we don't do the proper foundation, being, then doing, and then having will come. If we don't do that, how will our children raise their children? And what kind of
Very true.
society and community will we have? So don't just think, how can I show to the society that I have good results, I have good children? Think of how do you want your children to raise their child, and think with that direction. Okay, so the point is choice. You see, being, who are you and what is important to you? That's what is being all about. Like for Sulakshana, being secure, comfortable, being decently dressed is what was your value. And you gave that value to your child, right? And then you gave what are the actions? The action was you just whatever, take other people's advice and feedback as you what according to your value system. Not, you don't have to change your value. If it's a good value, you don't have to change it for others. See, so do the actions that show your values, and then the impact will come naturally. Because if Dia had gone and changed to gopi dress just to please the crowd and make people feel that, to be accepted by them, the impact would have been always she would have to do things in that way. But now you taught her as a parent, you don't have to change your values, you don't have to change your comfort, you don't have to change the way you dress just because somebody else told you that they don't like it. See, such a beautiful example that is. And then you reevaluate. Then she, as you did, you saw she came out of the room, she came out comfortable, and then she became again being, right? As a result of Sulakshana's choice, then Dia had her being. She understood, who am I? I am Dia and I'm comfortable wearing this. This is important for me because it's comfortable and it's decent. I don't want to switch. You see, then the whole cycle is healthy. But if the parent does a mistake in the being, then the child continues and then the whole cycle becomes toxic.
Yes. And we learned this a hard way, actually. We have done mistakes. Like, I have done many mistakes. Like, if Dia wouldn't, would be, when she was small, she would be arrogant with someone, and I would shout at her and tell her, why don't you talk politely to this person? Why don't you say Hare Krishna? And I, after a year or two, I realized that this is not working. This is not working, of course. So I need to change my ways instead of changing her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right parenting attitude. Because you see, today, we'll talk about the tool. So today we'll talk about that, the Enneagram of Personality. This is just an image to show different values. Okay, there are so many values, and each value is important. Like, this is like a very mystical diagram, what you're seeing here, and each of the symbol indicates a certain value. This side on the scale, what you see, that's the value of justice. And then you see a heart is the value of emotions, relationships. And then you see this cup, this is about achievements, is the value. And then you see a painting, paintbrush and paints, which is the value of creativity. And then you see what is it? Lens. Lens. Yeah.
Yes.
So the lens that shows the value of information, value of research, knowing, value of knowing, knowledge, value of knowledge. And then you see the security symbol.
Yeah.
Safety, security, that's the value for some people. And then you see the fun part, you see, gingerbread, like have fun in life and enjoy life. It's the value of joy and happiness and freedom. And then you see the power symbol, value of power. And then there's value of peace. Okay, so each of us as parents have certain value that's more important for us. Right? For somebody else, some other parents or the child, your own child, may have a different value. So we will explore this system, and I have been discussing with Sulakshana about her and her family's type, and we've been having a lot of fun. And so today we will kind of open the Pandora box, and we have many series and sessions, but this is the basics. The basic is, you see, number one, the type one is about justice and conscience, logical consistency, honesty, self-discipline, principles, morality, ethics. So
Mhm.
maybe that kind of a parent, or what, see, these are the values, right? Then the value of being appreciated, being needed, religious faith, warm feelings for others, friendship, altruism, love, community. For some of us this comes naturally. For those of
Mm.
us who are two, this comes naturally. We know how to appreciate others, we know how to understand, love, be considerate. And why? Because we like to be appreciated, we like to be accepted, we like to connect to people. And
Mhm.
then there's the value of success. Some of us are so much into success, right? Usually, there are countries with these Enneagram types. And
Mhm.
America, for instance, is type 3. It's
Type
all
3.
about achievement. It's all about that trophy.
Yes.
Some of us, as parents, we think that our children are our trophy. We want to show off to the world.
Yes.
Look, this is my child. It's shiny and it's bright, and this is my achievement. But it's such a wrong thing to do. They're not your trophy. They're soul to have their own purpose. So it'll become very selfish to, do that. So
Mhm.
for threes, the healthy the healthy threes are into self development, achievement, recognition, success, physical appearance, good reputation, popularity. These are very important for them.
Mhm.
Your child may be completely different, maybe the type 4. Their value is to be original, right?
Yes.
Creativity is the value of your child. She
Yeah.
beauty and authenticity, and she wants to say Haribol when she feels to say Haribol, not when
Yeah.
you're telling her to. And
I
being
can see I can see all this in Dia. Yeah.
being true to themselves. They don't want to do things because they want to fit in or they want to comply. They want to do it because they want to be true to themselves. They have very deep feelings. Personal freedom is very important for them. It's like diamond, right? They don't want to just cheaply become who everybody expects them to be. They want to be a diamond. They want to be precious because they want to be themselves. Originality, individuality, right? So
Mhm.
if you don't understand your child, this is usually a difficult type to understand, type 4, because parents usually don't understand type 4s. I know one friend, she's a leader and all that, and politically, and even a SCON leader. And she's like go getter, okay? She's like 3 type, 3 and 2 and 3 type. And her son is a total 4. He is like, he wears kajal and he has this strange hair. And, he's like a total type 4. He's not, I mean, sometimes it can be that your child is a homosexual or gay. So what? But in this case, it wasn't even that. But the point is, she was finding it very hard to accept the child. And it was
Mm.
causing him a lot of issues, insecurities, because she could not accept this value of being original.
Mm.
It was hard for her. And I saw that the struggle is unnecessary. If only she could be more accepting, that's his value, then it could be very beautiful. And then we have type 5. For them to be competent is very important. Knowledge, intelligence, originality, perceptiveness, understanding, foresight, certitude, efficiency. This is very important for them. That's a value, right? For some
Mm.
people.
Mm.
You may
Mm.
be a parent like that, and your kid couldn't give a damn about those things.
Yeah.
Because your kid may be a type 7 who just wants to have fun. And
Yeah.
then there's the value of security, type 6, to be secure. Loyalty, obedience, responsibility, duty, commitment, cooperation, hard work, persistence, security, welfare of close people. See, security, very
Mm.
important for them. How to make themselves feel secure.
Mm.
Responsibility, duty, loyalty. These are very important things for them. And they can
Mm.
be very good citizens. They can be very good students in the class, like that. Or as parent, you'll be very dutiful. You bring your child in time to school, bring them back, get them to do homework, you cook right meals in time, you buy the things for them. You can be a very loyal parent as a type
Yeah.
6. And who knows what kind of kid you have, right? We'll explore. Then The value of to be happy, happiness. Type 7, you see that the kid is already on the swing. Happiness, experience, accomplishment, sensual pleasure, material possessions, being amused and excited, having a wide variety of experiences. These are the kids who are extremely bored in school and they are like super naughty. Right? They want to have fun. That's what life is meant for.
Yeah.
Happiness. And then if you have a child who is a type 4, then you freak out a bit thinking, why my child is not having fun? I was so
Yeah.
much fun at her age because her value and her personality may be different. Her her value is not having fun. Her value is to be original, authentic, true to herself, deep, even melancholic, and get lost in emotions and feelings, which is completely different, right? So we sometimes wonder why my child is not like me.
Yeah. So many years I have been wondering this.
Yeah. And I'm very glad we're doing this series and it can help some parents get some information and make peace and help their child to grow up and help yourselves to grow up as well.
Yeah.
Then we have type 8, to be strong. Autonomy is very important for them. Independence, autonomy,
Mhm.
and power, influence, wealth, self assertiveness, independence, respect of others. You better respect me, don't mess with me, characters. Greatness, immortality, being in control, physical survival. You know, that's certain people, that's their value. And then we have type 9, emotional well being, acceptance, be at peace, traditional values, unity, harmony, social stability, right? They're like peaceful types. By the way, we have ISKCON gurus and sannyasis of different types. We have had Bhagavatam characters of different types. We will do one podcast session about Mahabharata characters and Enneagram, okay?
Okay.
Which,
Even Bhagavatam characters and Enneagram would also be interesting, especially for the kids because they are all doing Bhagavatam characters. Yeah.
yeah, we'll do that. Like, for example, type 1 is Yudhishthir Maharaj, you
Uh
know,
huh.
and type 8 is Bhima. See, power, self assertiveness, independence, no greatness, immortality, being in control, physical survival. Don't mess with me. That's Bhima. And Arjuna is the three, and the threeness, the success and achievement, and reputation, popularity. And we have all the Narad Muni is a type 7, always happy, always traveling around, never stay in one place. Boredom is the fear of sevens. Sevens are very afraid of being bored.
I can completely relate to this.
Yeah. And then we have so many characters in Chaitanya Charitamrita and contemporary leaders. And we can even do for fun a session, Disney princesses, and Enneagram. We can do
Wow.
Harry Potter and Enneagram, we can do all those things. So this is like in high school. Okay. These are kids.
Uh huh.
Number one is like environmentalist or something, they're very much into values and all that. That's a kind of typical type. Okay. And then the teacher's pet is the type 2. Ma'am, can I help you? I'll bring the books from here to there, typical type 2. We all have seen classmates like that.
Yeah. Now I know why Baliagan Prabhu is like this. Okay.
Yeah.
He
So
always keeps on saying that I always help my teachers.
me too, by the way. And then the type 3, right? Vote for me, the class president, right? They're
Uh-huh.
not so much, maybe the focus is not helping. They'll help if you'll vote for them.
Okay.
And then the type 4 is like the one, again, don't want to fit in and want to be themselves and don't care about what others are into. And then we have the type 5 math geek, who's has the perfect notes and has all the, all the homeworks done and everything pakka, right? A math geek
Mhm.
type. And then type 6, they are the investigating reporter type. I love exposing corruption. They become very like, this is not safe, that is not safe. They become very, cautious and careful about things.
Mhm.
We've seen, right? I remember a friend I had like that. And then the type 7 is the win, like the kind of cheerleader type, They are like, hey, they're having fun. They're not so much into politics. They're not so much into achieving. They're just like, let's have fun. And then the type 8 is like the star quarterback, they're like into showing their strength and power and like that. And then the 9 is the student UN rep, peace and harmony. They like everyone. They don't belong in any group. They make peace
Yeah.
with everyone. Peacemaker, harmonizer. You see, that's like type 9.
Mm.
Okay, so I hope this so far it's being exciting.
Yes, actually, I could imagine myself like my boss was like a 6 type, and I was somewhere 7. So it was my first day, and he asked me to take the training.
Hmm.
And out of a blue, I just thought of some activity, and I asked them to tie your 2 fingers. And now, after tying 2 fingers, I asked them that now can you tie a shoelace? And my boss was just freaking out. He was saying, how is this related to safety? And I mean, he, he was like, what is this girl doing? And I
Very
was
good
encouraging
example.
everyone, yes, you can do it, yes, you can do it. And then I finally concluded it nicely, imagining that you lose 1 finger and what will happen, and stuff like that. But for me, it was always fun. I would make, I would
Adventures.
convert even complex subjects into fun subjects, and then it becomes easy for everyone to learn. And my manager was like, oh my god, what have I hired?
Yeah, yeah, good example. So imagine that scenario in a parent case. The kid is like super adventurous, climbs up the tree, goes up the poles, goes and talks to anyone, and the parent is a 6 freaking out.
It happens between Madhuri because I am 7 and Dia is 4. So initial 4 5 years I was always freaking out.
Yeah, they're very creative type. No, 7 is not caring so much about creative or not creative, whatever is fun.
Yes.
So this is our basic symbology here, and these are the 9 types. Okay, the reformer or the perfectionist. Please don't get hung up. I mean, why we had this is our 4th episode. Why we had 3 episodes before we got to this point is because you need the foundation of sattva guna in order to apply tools. Don't get hung up on names. Don't think one type is better over the other. These are all stupid mistakes.
Mhm.
Every type is precious. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has something to contribute. And we all have natures that we need to align to. Krishna says in the Gita, better to act according to your own nature and do your duty imperfectly than try to do somebody else's duty perfectly. So be yourself. It's a huge achievement in life. So we had to do 3 sessions before this to give you that foundation that every type is precious. Every
Mhm.
type has its strength and challenge. And we all are perfectly given the type that we need for our personal development. So don't get lost into judging and thinking, oh, my child is better because it's a 1, and my child is no, oh, my child is a 5, it's very introverted. What to do? The point is not about the point is about acceptance. This is
Mm.
what these are the types, and every type is it's like when you go into a hospital, you see newly born babies. Which of them has more potential? Everyone. So
Yeah.
similarly, you look at these 9 types and I say, which one has more potential? Everyone.
Yes.
Better to be whatever type healthy than to be a whatever strong 8. A lot of times people want to be the 8, they want to be the boss, they want to be the leader, but then they can become narcissists, psychopaths, they can kill people, they can be ruthless, hurt others.
Mm.
Isn't it better to be
Yeah.
the quiet type who is lovable and very nice and kind and chants very nicely and grows up to become a great soul instead of being a powerful leader who hurts everyone and creates bad karma? So there is
Mm.
no good and bad type. There is no good and bad type. There is no good and bad type. I said it 3 times.
Yeah. And that's what's very evident, Mataji, when you started in the beginning, you said that Mahabharat has all types, Bhagavatam has all types. So that hence is true by Shastras also, we can say that
Absolutely.
everybody is living in harmony.
Absolutely. Like Dhruva Maharaj is a typical type 3. Okay, he wanted to achieve great kingdom greater than Rama. That was him, right? But Prahlad was a peacemaker. He was like a mediator. He was like peacemaking. But they're
Yeah.
both great. They're both great because they were devotees. So it's not about which type is better than the other. Every type has great qualities. This is very important. That's why we had 3 sessions to prepare your consciousness before you get into this. Can be very, people can take this very passionately, you know. Oh, I am this type and my child is this type, and how to get the best out of it, how to manipulate the child and get the result I want. That's not the thing. The point is to align to Krishna's will. We all have a nature. We understand that, we come to a healthy level. You understand the nature of your child, help the child come to the healthy level. That's the point. Okay, so what you see here is very, very important section. You can see the first thing here is anger. You see in the middle, 8, 9, and 1. They belong to the anger triad. These 3 types, the 8s, the 9s, and the 1s, they're very angry types. They have a lot of anger inside them. In an 8, you will see anger very obviously. They're like always irritable or strong, and they can say no, and you know they are very strong people. 9s are very peaceful. You won't immediately see the anger. It's hidden, it's deep, deep. 1, they can become very critical. The anger comes out in a certain way. But it's not that other types don't have anger. All the 9 types will have anger issues. As you can see, the arrows, each type is connected to another type because either another type is healthy or unhealthy for you. We will do a whole session just on that. It's a very, very important part to understand. But today we are just introducing the anger, the fear, and the image triads. So for 8, 9, and 1, anger is their biggest problem. They need to learn to channel their anger. Parents who are 8, 9, and 1 have much more anger issues than the other type.
Okay.
Okay, and then the type 2, 3, and 4, their major issue is image or guilt. Oh, I did this. Oh, I said this. I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I should do better. You know, there's always that sense of, did I do it well? Will people accept me, or people will get mad that I didn't do it well? So there's always a sense of self-conscious, you know, image. And then if I didn't act accordingly, then I feel guilty, and then I feel, oh my god, some shame. That's the issue or the challenge. Whether you're a parent, type 2 parent, type 3 parent, type 4 parent, you're always thinking, oh, I should have done better. Oh no, maybe I should look better, you know. There's always an image conscious thing.
Yeah.
And 5, 6, and 7, it's fear. No, each type is afraid of something. Type 5 is afraid to not know enough. Type 6 is afraid of security, safety, like your boss that you said. And then type 7 is afraid of boredom.
Of course, yeah.
So every type, like 2, is afraid that they won't look helpful enough. They want to be helpful to everybody.
Yeah.
2 has that need to be needed. And the 3 have the need to be looking successful. Do I look successful? You know, it's very important for them. And the 4 is like, do I look different enough? I don't want to conform. I don't want to look like her. I don't want to look like this. I want to look different. Am I looking different enough? That's their image conscious. So each one has, like, type 1 will be angry that things are not perfect. And type 8 will be angry because people are not respecting me enough. And type 9 could be angry because they are fighting with each other. Why they're fighting?
Okay.
And yeah, we will come back to this. In the end, you can see stress and relax. So each number has an arrow, like take type 1. Type 1 has this arrow connecting to 4 and also connecting to 7.
Yeah.
So for a type 4, it's very unhealthy to go to 4. Meaning for a 1, they should not act like 4. They shouldn't become all emotional. And 1 should go to 7. For people who are very perfectionist, they need to learn to relax, enjoy, have fun, you know. Anyway, we'll get into that next time. For today, we will just give like a super introduction, of the types, and then I'll tell you what we will discuss in the next session. So
Mm.
this is the fears again, a little bit more fear of neglect, and they're based with gut. 8, 9, and 1, they are gut center, self-forgetting, angry, moving, aggressive, instinctual. They have a need for, not really need for acceptance, like not like you have to go and tell them, oh, you're very wonderful, I accept you, not that kind of acceptance. That's more like a validation. But 8, 9, and 1, they want like that, they want to exist as with their values and their principles. Okay, that's important discrimination to make. 8, 9, and 1 are one category, 2, 3, and 4 is one category, and 7, 6, and 5 are in one category, because their values match. Sometimes depends, of course, there are levels and layers. And then for the 2, 3, and 4, they are the heart center. The 8, 9, and 1, they're not emotional.
Uh-huh.
They don't make decisions based on emotions. They make decisions based on instinct, gut.
Okay, gut feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gut feeling. And usually they are the ones who act or say and then they think, kind of. And then the type 2, 3, and 4, they're heart center. They're all about emotions and feelings and heartfelt things. They need affirmation. They need to be told, we love you and you're needed. They need to be told like that. And then the 3 also, they need to be told. They're very achievement oriented, but they need to keep hearing that you're lovable, we really like you.
Yeah.
And they hate to be ignored. That's their fear of being ignored.
Yeah.
We all
I'm
have.
living with I'm living with twos and fours, and I can completely understand this now.
Yeah.
And because we did a love language test, and for both of them, it was like words of affirmation was something is their love language.
Yes. Yes. And then the type 4 also, you see, they won't pay attention back to you. They may not reciprocate to your attention, but they need attention. That's type 4. And then the 5, 6, and 7 is need for reassurance. Like if I tell Sulakshana, you're really fun, you like that because, that's your reaffirmation of who you are. And type 6, you have to reaffirm to them and say, you're such a cautious person, huh? Very nice, you're very, safe person. They like it. If you tell a 5, you're very knowledgeable, they like that. So the fear is the fear of chaos. They like everything. Like 7 likes adventure, right? They don't like a boring, chaotic life. And 6 likes the everything should be like your boss. Is this going to be safe? They don't want chaos. And then the type 5 is like, do I know enough? I don't want chaotic situation. And
Mm.
then that's their thing, their head. They think, they are the ones who are like in the head. Paranoia, fear, thinking, withdrawing, intellectual, these are like some qualities. Like in your family, you're the one who thinks more.
Yeah.
No, your husband and your child, they're more into feeling, not so much into overthinking, worrying. That's not their nature. So
Correct.
this is very important. And there are many other sections, but I will give like overview for our next session. This is going to be Enneagram moms. We'll have a whole session just on that. We'll talk about different kinds of moms, the 9 kinds of moms. There's the idealist mom, who is like type 1. And then there's the caring mom, the type 2. Then the cheerleader mom, the type 3. The imaginative mom, that's the type 4, very creative. Then there's the 5, the exploration mom. And then there's the steady mom, very reliable, safety oriented, right? You open the bag of the kid who has a mom who is a 6, you'll see all safety things in there. And then you have type 7 moms, right? The spontaneous mom. You never know what they'll come up with, what creative idea they'll come up with. They're always into exploring, cooking something interesting. And then there's the 8, the confident mom. She's the only one who has all her hair tied up because, she's like, she doesn't really care about how her hair looks. And then we have the laid back mom, the kind of withdrawn mom, peaceful mom. And it'll be very exciting for us because we'll compare them with the dads and and then we'll see Okay, the dad is not going to be the idealist dad in one type one. They're going to become the visionary dad. The male and female psychology works differently when it comes to the types. And the dad is not going to be caring anymore. It's going to be more kind-hearted dad. So there's a slight difference in the functioning, right? And then the
Yeah.
type 3 becomes the encouraging dad. Come on, you can do it. I'm proud of you. You know that. And then the type 4 is like the creative dad, the examining dad, the constant dad, the spontaneous dad, the self-assured dad, the relaxed dad. And then we will have, of course, we'll have some more fun sessions like Harry Potter. You know, there is a perfectionist character, and then there's the generous character. Harry Potter himself was the type 9 with the 8 wing, you know. He had that. And then Dumbledore was like the protective one. This will be exciting because we'll understand the kids, how they work, and how to get them to understand their own. Like Luna was the expressive type, and Fred and George were the fun loving type, right?
Uh-huh. I have completely forgotten this. Like, I never watched this series, but I read so many Harry Potter books when I was young. So
Yeah,
but I sort of forgotten. It would be nice to revise with you.
yeah, just to kind of understand, like, and
Yeah.
then we'll go through each type. In the mom series, we'll have a slide like this. This is the type 1 mom. I'm on tough on myself. My strengths are creating boundaries, encouraging the best for my kids, patience. And what does a mom who's one encourage? Responsibility, good manners, order, good deeds, right? She's like the idealist mom, calm, trustworthy, empathetic, if she's healthy. Because if we will discuss that, when you're an unhealthy mom, type 1, you become very critical of your child. Never give them never give them freedom, always telling them do this do this right, do this right, this is right, this is wrong. You can become very critical as an unhealthy one. That's why it's important to understand your type so you can come up in the healthy levels. Otherwise, you're comparing yourself with another mom. She does it with her child and it works, so it will also work with me. No, my dear, it will not work with yours because your child is different. Some principles, yes, but you need to understand your own nature and are you healthy?
Hmm. And so, Mataji, if you go back, you had one photo which has some centers in that, the one you were explaining about. Yeah. Are we going to discuss about this, some common features also?
Yeah, we'll discuss. When we'll discuss the, like, for example, type 1, right? They are here, the gut center. They're all about, anger is their issue. And, we'll discuss that. And then we'll see if you are a 1 and your child is a 5, what kind of dynamics. You know what? We can have unlimited episodes on each of the possibilities, but we're going to kind of narrow down in sections and we'll discuss them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing so much of knowledge and value addition to our parenting. It was not possible without you, Shri Radha. It's really wonderful to have this session with you.
I'm very grateful to do this. And we can have a series, just a session on anger. Each type, how they deal with when you're upset, your kid is not doing something you want. What's your strength? What's your challenge? How you need to work on it. We can have
Mhm.
just one session just about that because we all face anger issues.
Yeah, we are very glad actually. My team here would be very glad on hearing on anger. They're specifically mentioned because at times they get angry and at times their kids get angry and even fathers get angry too. So it becomes like a very good positive moment. Turns out to be, a very negative thing actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sometime, I mean, we will discuss more, but as you can see here, say type 2 gets angry. Okay, it's not generally the problem, but say type 2 gets angry. There's a very important steps to go through and see why the type 2 became angry. Because for a type 2, they should not go to 8. You see, there's a red arrow and
Yes.
8 is the anger circle. So when type 2 gets angry, it's very, very obvious that they're being unhealthy.
Hmm.
Whereas for a type 5, being angry is healthy at times. They need to become angry. So there are some parents, maybe the type 5 type, they are very afraid to discipline their child because they don't want to get upset and put boundaries and tell the child, you know what, you're upsetting me. This should not be done and this should not be done. By the way, recently There's a parent, just 8-5 thing. The parent is a 5 and the child is a 8. So the child was doing something aggressive with another kid. And the parent being 5, she could not discipline or correct the child, did not want to. And I saw that. They see that's a good example of a 5 who needs to go to 8. She needed to discipline, she needed to say that, but it was very difficult for her. So it's not the same shoe size fits all of us. For some of us, there is healthy use of anger, and we need it. Whereas for a 2, becoming angry is not the way. They have to go to 4. They have to become more emotionally connected and say, oh, I'm actually feeling very sad about this. I'm actually feeling angry about this. So let me process it. Otherwise, when 2s get angry, they become very bad.
But this thing I have experienced. Like, I think on the very first session you mentioned that instead of getting angry, we can just say that we feel hurt. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and I
What is the
used it with
cause of
my
the
daughter. I used it with my daughter. Like, I was feeling very angry the way she behaved with me, and I told her that I feel very sad that she behaved with me like this. And then she was like, "Oh, Mama, I'm sorry."
vulnerability? When we show, that's the thing. For a 7 to do that, it means it took you some thinking, and it took you some knowledge to say to her, I'm hurt. It's a different ball game when you say I'm hurt, instead of just saying, you stupid nonsense. How is that going to help, right?
Yes.
So we
I would always say that to Dia, like when like when I'm not able to, boss her around, I would just say that, how rude of you. And I would just get very angry and just go away from there. So this time I was very mindful of it. And yeah, the session really helped with you, the first session. And I could just say that I'm really hurt. And I meant it actually. And she could see it in my eyes. And it was a real good change in our relationship actually.
That's wonderful. And you overcame your challenge of that fear. Sometimes maybe you're afraid to show that you're hurt. You don't want to show that you're hurt. But when you do it, you get a better result
Yes.
because you overcame the fear of how can I tell my child that I am hurt? I'm never hurt. I'm going to look like I'm very strong, right? There is that fear, right, of looking weak in front of your child. But
Yes.
you just want to say, no, no, I'm just correcting you, I'm not hurt or anything. But that's not true. That's denial.
Yes. And I
But
can completely understand what you are saying. Yes.
yeah. So please write down, let's write down, Lakshana, let's plan. We can have different sections based on how to deal with, the angry parents. When you are angry, how to deal with your anger depending on your type, how to deal with your kid. Like when the kid is angry, like we have, you see, this is Enneagram dads, Enneagram moms, and then we have Enneagram Harry Potter, and then we have dad and mom, different kind. Um, and then we have the child, what the type, like say type 1 child.
Mhm.
I wish my parents knew I am not picky. I just like things a certain way and realize that my expectations are already high. So don't push me so hard. Right. And the fears of a 1 is being wrong, being evil, or being bad. And then they focus on things, they're very organized type, usually type 1 kids, and their desires is to be a good boy or a good girl, so I will try to do things right. So we will explore all these things. Okay, when the dad is a 2 and the mom is a 2, what are the dynamics? We can have these series. if
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
if the mom is a 7 and the dad is a 2, what's the dynamics? What kind of arguments you would have and how to resolve that? If anger is coming from a 2, how to handle. If your husband is a 2, how do you handle the anger of a 2? So we can
Mhm.
have these tips. If you're this type, these are your tips. If your husband is this type, these are your tips to deal with them. If your kid is this type, these are the deal. We'll go through this in this way. So
Yeah. This would be really helpful to everyone, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll have fun. For the next series, we will go through moms. Okay, we'll go through the moms. And then
Great.
that we will go through, take families, and we can also have interviews. Those of you who are interested, as you're watching the series, if you like to get like private coaching, I mean, like coaching for your own family, we will send you a link in the description below where you can go and do your own Enneagram tests. You can go through and do the test and get your results. And after that, you can actually come on our podcast show
Definitely.
here. We will be happy to have you, and you can ask your questions, and that will be an episode on that particular type of the family, and we can have such episodes if you like, and you can get all your questions answered, and you can help other parents and families as well.
Wow, that's wonderful, actually. And I would go first. Oh, anyways, it is really nice to go through this enneagram in terms of parenting, because we have already, like, I have in my coaching study, I have been going through enneagram, but as a sole personality. But we never discuss in detail. It is just like a tool that we use to identify what is your personality type, and it just feels like very shallow. But when you're talking about this in so detail, it's really like, yeah, then in real sense you can say it is a soul type, it is not just a personality type. And that's how I know some of my friends address it. Oh, that's not a personality type tool, it is when you want to find your soul type tool.
Yeah, and
And
you know, this is a lifestyle. It's not just some a little knife that you use for something. This is actually not just that kind of a tool. This has changed my life. You know, this Enneagram thing, because I understood myself. I understood my weaknesses. I understood my strength. I understood my husband's nature. I understood his weakness, his challenge. I know when he is struggling and not trying to hurt me. I'm able to discriminate now. Earlier, I would think, oh, he's trying to hurt me. He's an
okay.
eight, by the way. My husband is an eight. So eights are like the most difficult to deal with because they are like the strong, dominating type. So it takes time to understand yourself. Otherwise, we may change too much. As a type two, we may change too much to accommodate, but that's not needed.
Yeah.
So it changed my life, and it helped me understand my parents, my friends. I know how to deal. I have so much more confidence in my relationships. My relationships tremendously switched and changed and became more sattvic because of understanding. Because I was before confused. I would never do that. I would never say that. Why this person is saying that? And it was hard. But now with this formula and this thing, I'm always keeping in mind this person is a three. They may do this. I shouldn't see it with my eyes. I should understand them for who they are. And
Mm.
especially with children, with my service, it's helped me so much. The other day, okay, being a parent and being a teacher is very humbling. So we were there in a place playing with some kids. And one kid goes by. I also counseled her, etc. Because I'm a school career counselor here. There was some interactions with this person, and this person knows me very well, has seen me several times, and she passes by and she greets the other girls who are with me, and she doesn't even say Haribo. She doesn't even say hi. And but then I understood because of the understanding natures. But she's this particular type. She's a security freak or whatever. She's not yet secure, so I don't have to take it personally.
Mm.
So it really helps us when your kid acts weird and you know their type. Instead of becoming upset, taking it personally and all that, you can see why they're doing that and give them what they need to feel secure.
Yes, this is wonderful actually. I know, like, even when we had not gone into this discussion, even in the first session, some tips that were given by you are really helping me to understand people better. And now I am really conscious when my Prabhuji is talking to me or my daughter is talking to me. I'm really conscious. Actually, I make an effort now to understand them, which initially I was not making.
That's very healthy for you because you're a type 7 who needs to become like 5. You need to connect with that
Yeah.
knowledge, get to think before you speak, understand others, get information. So you're going in the healthy way and you will naturally feel empowered, equipped. And we'll
Yeah,
discuss
it
more
is.
about which types are assertive, which types are withdrawn, how to deal. We'll discuss all this.
Yeah, there's lots more to explore, and we request our audience to just be with us for future sessions. And we take a leave for today. Once again, I thank Shri Radhe Mataji for helping us dive deeper in Enneagram and connecting it to Satoguna, which is very important for our Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Mataji, for all those who are listening. This our episodes are live on Dharma Ashraya. Please feel free to watch them and like, share, and subscribe them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.